All right. Let's have a look see here. I'm chopping off my head. Let's move you back a little bit, guys. There we go. How's that? That's good. That's good. Okay. Let me wheel this in here. And we're going to grab this here. Little plate. Now, today, we're going to kick off with greens, blues, whites, same story. Hello Jacob, hello Cobb, hello Niche. Welcome all of you. Same story guys. Blues, greens, turquoises, nothing special here. Well, it's special, but it's standard. We expect it here. Jacob, where did I get the shirt? You know where I got it from, Jacob. This shirt came from an op shop. It cost me $2. Great buy. So it was, I think it was Shelby's birthday in the morning. I dragged around a few op shops. And we found a few things for her, but couldn't help myself. Saw this and grabbed it. Very happy. Nurse DJ, welcome. Hope you're well. How many paintings do I create in a month, Robert? Big question. Usually I'll aim for about 4 in a month. That leaves a bit of wiggle room because if you end up losing your flow, if you end up going through a bit of a rut, if you end up getting stuck on a painting that needs more and more layers, 4 is the perfect number because then you can prioritize one that's not quite coming together quite right. It allows for that flexibility. Anyway, here are our colours. I think I might go for just a little bit of white. And we're going to put that down here. Perfect. A stack of white. There we go. Heaps of that. Heaps of that. And pink. Welcome. Can't go wrong with white paint. Can't go wrong with pink paint either. Magenta. Magenta paint's always fun as well. Nurse DJ. I'm well. I did a video giving you a shout out and tagged you in. I haven't seen it yet, but that sounds exciting. Unless Nurse DJ, are you, there was a fella this morning who gave me a shout out, which I couldn't help but to share. It was the funniest thing. It was the most wholesome thing and also the funniest thing. So I had to repost it. I thought it was really entertaining. Now, I also did buy something for me. Let me share it. Voila. Big container of gloss medium, but we're not going to use it just yet. We're going to wait until we've got through our little container of gloss medium. Hello Victoria, you missed the stream last night. Don't worry, we had Pink, we had Cheryl, we had some lovely folks. Victoria, there's a new lady you haven't met. Her name's Larissa. She is an absolutely lovely lady and she's helping us moderate on the stream. So if you see Larissa pop in Pink, not Pink, if you see Larissa pop in Victoria, she's new. It was quite late. Yeah, I totally get it, Victoria. I'm not harassing you, I'm just letting you know that it's a pity. Hold on, I'll just move this to silent. Perfect. All right, that's all sorted there. Fantastic. Move this out of the way. It was quite a... Hello, Larissa. Larissa, meet Victoria. Victoria, meet Larissa. Now, back on this painting. This one's a bit of fun. I'm going to start with the white, because after I add a bit of white, we're going to have to start adding some more colour in. And I want to get that pure white, and I want pure white. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of pure white. Make a few little areas pop, you know. Here we go. Just up through here like this. Fun, fun. We want to make sure the brush strokes are fun, guys. Loose and fun. If we get them too, on a big canvas like this, if we get them too controlled, what's going to happen is we're going to end up actually having a canvas with a whole bunch of small chicken scratches, and the subject itself in this canvas is fun. This is a fun idea, this is a fun subject matter, and so we're going to imbue the brush strokes that we add to the canvas with fun. Hello Ryan, welcome. I match the art. I'm very colourful and a giant mess right now, but I'm a work in progress. Thanks, appreciate that. Let's leap in here. Okay, there's going to be a little bit around this hand here. This hand still needs to grab some definition, but I'm loving how it's sort of coming clear that there's a GoPro sneaking out here. I want that to be clear because part of the fun of this picture is the perspective and the information that you get about where it's filmed from, where she's heading. It's a very unusual sport that's been conducted by this lady. This is horse wakeboarding. So we've got a horse and it's towing a lady and she's on a wakeboard on a lake and using a GoPro to take her own photo. So a lot of special stuff in this picture. One of the fun things about it too, what was I going to say? Nope, I forgot, lost my trail of thought. But basically, that's where we're at. Do you ever fall in love with one of your paintings and can't bear to part with it? Yeah. In fact, I was saying it before that in the studio right now, the reason why there's only a few works, but I haven't listed them on an online gallery because there was only a few of them, so it wasn't worth having the online gallery. But rather than actually listing them, I thought, you know what? These are adding some brilliant flavour to the studio. So I thought, we'll just pull down the online shop and just appreciate them on the walls for a bit, which has been really fun. There's about 5, and I know that's really greedy, guys, but there's 5 artworks right now that are for me, and I keep them in my little studio. They're not here, they're in Tauranga, but and I had someone inquire last night and say, can you send me some pictures of those? And I'll share some pictures of them, but I'm unsure whether I'm ready to part with some of them because they're quite special. You know, the comment is correct. You do form an attachment to art sometimes, and I don't know, they're my own little passion projects. I like them on my walls. Thanks, Leonardo. Love you too. Here we go. Lots of white in this, guys. We want to keep adding the white. Never shy away from white in this picture. A lot of the water isn't actually blue. It's white. It's been foamed up. I've been hit by that wakeboard. It's foamed up by the horse running. There's a lot of energy in that. And then on the background here, in the horizon line, this area here behind her head, that's also white because of the way the sun has hit the water and created that white reflection. So we'll try and capture all that. And there's also a subtle blue in the sky, which is reflected in this area here, just under the horizon. So we're going to try and create a connection there as well. Did someone ever dislike a commission painting? I haven't had anyone dislike a commission painting before, no. But I think part of the perk you get from that, because that can happen, is I paint it live. So all the commissions happen on TikTok, or they used to happen on Reddit or YouTube or wherever. And so the person who's ordered the commission, thanks Roman, love you to bits. And sorry guys, my hair's a little bit wild today, but they'd order a commission, and what would happen is they'd watch it layer after layer slowly come together. I have had hints, tips and tricks during the lives. So what we do with the hints, tips and tricks is, oh, Nurse DJ, that's phenomenal. You know what, Nurse? We would love to have you. You've been a phenomenal asset. And the fact that that's a pinned comment means that I think everyone loves you as well. But I just need to figure out how to, here we go. Watch this. Follow, touch, add moderator. My God, Cheryl, Victoria, T, Larissa, I am getting good at this. There we go. There we go. And confirm. Bang. Done. And I look forward to seeing the thing. I have not... I've been on social media a little bit. I've been trying to comment back to a lot of people who've left messages and requests via email, and so if it's been saying I'm active on Instagram, but I haven't replied to your message, it's because it's been sitting on one of the tablets or the phones while I've been trying to keep up with everything. How many blues have I used so far? Pink, that is it. Roman, love you. Pink, that's a great question. I'm on about, it's actually about 3 blues, but then those 3 blues have been combined with yellows, purples, and greens to create a whole armada of different colours, but 3 blues. So typically in our toolbox, I'll show you, this fancy little toolbox, which actually came from you guys via gifts on the stream, which is really special. This toolbox here, I carry Steve. Love you, Steve. You're an absolute champion. So the tips that come in on the stream, I actually use to buy things to improve the stream. So the stand the time lapses get filmed on, that came from that. The extension cord for the charger so it doesn't die, that came from that. And this yellow box that I got from the DIY store came from that. Now in the yellow box, sorry Pink, going back to the question, is I've got 3 of each primary colour, blues, yellows and reds. And the way I do that is the tone changes between each one. So since we're talking about blues, let me grab those out. And I'm so sorry, it's a little bit of a mess at the moment. But basically, this is Pacific blue, this is, can't pronounce that, and this is Cobalt. So we've got a deep blue, don't know if you can see it from where you're sitting. Deep blue, which is your almost a little bit darker than the regular primary. You've got Cobalt blue, which is slightly off primary blue. It's getting close to baby blue, but not the whole way there. And then you've got Pacific blue, which is a lighter blue. It's already combined with a bit of white, and it's slightly grey. And those are the 3 blues that I'll usually play with, and then combine other primary colours with it from there. I hope that was explained well. I went on a bit of a yarn there, sorry. Has the cost of your prints, oh, I missed it. Something about prints and costs. I'm so sorry, I haven't got any prints up right now. There is no prints available. But if there's a particular piece of artwork you love, while you're waiting for me to get my stuff together and actually put prints available, I'll absolutely send you a JPEG of the picture and you can get your own print and frame it yourself. I'm sorry. And tints skyrocketed in the last couple of years due to the petrol prices, paints and tints. Robert, they're definitely going up, but one of the big things, even though paint's going up, I try to make sure that I buy it from local art stores, because with the whole COVID thing and whatnot, I know a lot of people picked up painting, but actually helping people get access to, helping people get access to things like revenue when you put the shops close and things like this. I try to avoid buying online and try to make sure I get all of it, or as much of it as I can, from the local art store to look after those guys. Thanks, Migs, appreciate you. Now, let's sneak through here. Like I say, we can't overdo the white in these early layers. Once I combine it with the first colour, which is going to be green, get ourselves a lime, grassy green, we're going to actually struggle to get back to that pure white. Borderline lose it. Not forever, just for this painting session. How much do you think spend on paint per painting the size you're currently painting? Look, it chops and changes. I'll spend about, if a tube of paint, a singular tube of paint, this one here, goes for about $11 New Zealand, so about $8 or $7 American. JEC, I absolutely love you. You're an absolute champion. Thank you so much for the support. And next time I promise I'll make sure I'm not having a bad hair day. I lost my trail of thought. That was so special, guys. I was saying, it's not coming back to me. Sorry, tube of paint, $7 to $8 American. I'll go through about 5 to 8 tubes of paint in a work, depending, and then you'll have your compounds that you'll add in, like your acrylic gels and your transparent paint mediums. So usually once you've added up your gesso, your gels, your transparent mediums, your paint, and your brushes, which will wear out, you'll find tea. You got a notification this time. That's special. I'm glad. Once you add it all up, it's usually, for a canvas this size, about $120 to $150 dollars in materials. So in US, that's about $100 to $80 to $100 is basically what it will cost you, the materials to make a painting. Now, we don't see as much lime green as we're adding, but we're trying to replicate a lake here, guys. I don't want it to look like the sea, I want it to look like a lake. Here we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Wait, which part of the country am I in right now? I am in, this is Auckland. Painting out of Auckland, I usually paint in Tauranga, a chop and change. And most of the art's in Tauranga. I just keep a few works here in the Auckland shop. This is a art collective, which means we're on a floor here and there's about 10, 15 artists all on the same floor who share the space. It keeps rent down, it helps us all be in an environment together, it helps us, you know, be around other artists. And if you've heard me yarn about this before with art school and in terms of any environment to help you pursue art, peers are super important, so this is helpful. Still need to pull up to New Zealand. You do, New Zealand's cool. And if you like coffee, this is the place. I say that because I go overseas, and the one thing I miss is a good espresso coffee. Something with a real kick to it, you know? Yeah, it's weird. After a month or so of traveling overseas, that's what I start to miss. Friends and family, yes, of course, but coffee. I'm addicted. It's a bad thing, guys. My partner, Shelby, she's helping me shake it a little bit. I told her that I have a problem. I'm like, so we're gonna make one good strong coffee in the morning, and then we're just gonna stop, and we're gonna try and hold. Now, I'm on about 4 or 5 coffees a day, but we're down from 8, so we're making good ground. I need to visit New Zealand and Australia soon, definitely on my bucket list. Victoria, when you do decide, I've got no advice for Australia, but when you do decide to come to New Zealand, please, 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 I mean, let me know, because I have a list of things for you to do. Tell me what you're into, tell me what you're, if you want to do hikes, sightseeing, food, whatever it is, and we can work out a plan, and, well, do whatever you want, but I'll give you some highlights to consider. Would like to go to New Zealand someday. New Zealand's great, guys. You can't go wrong. Well, you can, but New Zealand's good. In terms of traveling, New Zealand's a safe place to go as well, because in New Zealand, and you might have heard me say it before, there's nothing that can hurt you. It's not like Australia. There's no spiders, there's no crocodiles. There are spiders, but no super poisonous ones. There's no crocodiles. There's no snakes, tigers, lions, bears. None of this stuff exists in New Zealand. Just a whole bunch of people having a good time. That's it. That's all there is. Also, I haven't got a time checker here, do I? 3:42. Okay, so 3:42. I've got to disappear. I think we've got a bit of time, guys. We've got a bit of time. But I've got some exciting plans tonight. The flat that I'm in has got dinner arranged. So that's exciting. Give me just a moment though, because I'm at an awkward stage with my hair. If you see this little fringe that comes down here, it's just long enough to poke me in the eye. And so when I'm flipping around my head, I end up actually stabbing myself half the time. Now, I don't have any hair gel, so we're going to make do with a bit of water. There we go. Out of the face. That'll last for about 10 minutes. Thanks, Roman. Water. Cool. And a little coffee. Just a little one. The picture of the beach. I'm missing. Thanks, Roman. Appreciate you. You're an absolute champion. Right. Now, one colour that's slightly better than baby blue. I know I said baby blue is my favourite colour, but to paint with, I like to get turquoise, and I like to add a bunch of white to it. The result you get from that is this, it's still a baby blue, but it's got this tiny, tiny green hue to it, which I like. I reckon it's funky, I think it's cool. One of the other things you can do, you might notice the paint's adding on really thick. The way to do that is with gloss medium. Not one of the thick ones, just one of the regular ones. If I show you this one, I'll leak it out of here, watch this. This is the best I can do to show you the viscosity that we're working with. This one here, watch this. That's the liquid we're after, at that sort of viscosity. What that's going to do is it's going to combine with your acrylic paint, which is normally, can be sometimes quite tacky, it can start to dry, and it's going to make it more fluid-like. Almost, not there, but almost more like watercolours, which is fantastic, big fan. No Twitter, guys, no Twitter, but there is an Instagram. Now, if you want to connect more, there's a link in the bio, everything you want's right there. There's a cool little type form that you can fill out for a commission. There's, now someone's just taken the last spot for February. There's no space left for February. But earliest we can do commissions is about early to mid-March. So if you want to get in touch, jump in those slots and we'll go from there. Like I say, we aim for about 4 a month, but if you go into the March slots and we end up nailing a few of the paintings I'm working on, then bang, we can sneak you in there to February, but we'll see. Is my birthday. Happy birthday to you. Good for you. I turned 30 in January. I feel the same, but I'm 30 now. Which is cool because that means my partner's finished dating fellas in their 20s. It's not the first time I've cracked that joke. It's probably the third time. Here we go. So I'm going to sneak this in here. We're after less shape at the moment and more fun. So I'll sacrifice clarity in order to get brush strokes on there with this fun, playful style. We can always bring in some clarity later on. But to start with, I like to go into abstract. So start with the abstract and go to realism. I find if you start with realism and try and control it too much, it's hard to add that abstraction later. Or if you do, it kind of has a sort of forced feel to it. You may be completely different. That's just how I feel about my style. We need it if you want to connect more as Oh, Victoria, you know just how to roast me. Yep, that's fair enough. I'm so sorry. Yes. Victoria's been here since day dot, and she's heard all my little one-liners. She's heard me talk about Instagram, TikTok, my little ways of adding into the conversation. But I did try and simplify it down, because when Victoria was first here, I was doing this real niggly thing where I'd be like, if you want YouTube, if you want Instagram, if you want commissions, if you want the website, if you want the about me, and it just turned into this giant, long rant. And so I got it all, and I compiled it in a link tree, which I'm making it sound like I'm quite techie. I got told to do that by someone who was too frustrated with the amount of links I was reading out. So thank you to that person, I'm very lucky. And yeah. So basically I've got a link tree now, which is it a website? I don't know. Someone with more brains can explain to you what a link tree is, but from what I understand on it, is it's like a mini, easily designable website page, which then has all your links to everything else on it. Like rather than being a website page in itself, it's like just a, what's the word I'm looking for? A collection of links. I think that's right. Crying at my poor attempt at trying to explain what a link tree is. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Alright, let's have a look-see here. Don't be afraid to, when you're painting a sea picture, when you're painting a character by the ocean, the temptation is to only put blue into the ocean and then like accentuate the reddish tones or the orangey, tanny tones in the person. Try and add the blue into the person, try and add the tans and those tones into the sea, and it'll create more of a harmony through the picture. Or don't, ignore my advice. It's probably wrong anyway. It's the way I feel about art. I like to make sure there's continuity through all the colours across the picture. Yes, some areas might accentuate other colours more, but I'd be lying if I didn't say I see red everywhere in this picture and I see blue everywhere in this picture. In fact, there's a bit of blue in her face. I'm going to put it in there, just up here. Bing! It's a very subtle blue, but it's blue alright. And I'm hoping by the end of the session, I'm not going to force it, but I'm hoping that she starts looking happy, because her actual expression is one where she's like, and it's like a happy-go-lucky, look at what I'm doing, I'm so cool, I've got a GoPro there. And so I want to capture that. At the moment, she's scowling, just because of the way the paint's landed. We're not going to force the face upon her, but I'm hoping as these layers continue, that real face of hers will start to come out. That's the idea. I really thought shades of blue, the fact it's mainly 3 is insane. Yeah. Now blue's a really fun thing, because with blue, you can make so many shades. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but someone once told me, or I heard from somewhere, and I believed for an obscenely long time if it's not true, that, thanks Nurse DJ, you're a champion. I believe for an excessively long time now that you can get more shades out of blue, or the human eye can recognise more shades of blue. At least I feel like that's the case, because I've believed it for so long. But basically guys, yeah, I love blue. You can get so much out of it. In terms of pop, red's got the most pop, and in terms of chill, yellow's got probably the most chill. Chills, I'm sort of struggling to figure out how to use the word chill a lot of the time. But basically yellow is the most relaxed, happy colour, which, is that what chill means? I don't know. Someone who's under 30 tell me. There's our picture guys. So if you look at the picture, you'll see a lady, you'll see the GoPro stick, the wakeboard, a lot of water, a huge amount of green, and a horse charging off. Now, perspective's created from a bunch of things. Obviously by the GoPro stick, obviously by the direction of the wakeboard, by the rope, by the horse, by the direction her body's facing, by the horizon line. There's also a subtle, bigger perspective occurring in these white lines occurring from the way the wakeboard's cutting and where the horse has been running. So overall, although we're going to see the horizon and the wakeboard and the GoPro stick, most of the perspective is actually going to come from that white churning up in that direction. So, but again, I'm making it sound like I've got a giant overarching plan. I don't. This is chaos. And if you've heard me say it before, we're doing the craft of chaos. So I know vaguely how we're going to get there. I've got no idea what's waiting for us once we get there. And that's part of the fun for the painting too. I'm sort of hanging out with bated breath to see what comes out. But the more paintings you do, you'll start to get a feel for it, thinking, my style can take this another step, or I only stand to ruin this painting. Yeah. And you'll ruin a few paintings before you figure out where that line is. And that's okay. It's all good. I had a painting which I'm pretty sure I ruined 3 times. I took it too far, I managed to pull it back, I then took it too far, I managed to pull it back, and I took it too far again, and I was about to give up, and I just pulled it back. It was about to get painted over 3 times. It was coincidence alone that I didn't, so that was wild. And now it's in a house in New York, and the lady loves it to bits. Yeah, it's called Expression. Yeah, really moving piece, because there's this guy with a concerned face, and he's sort of looking at you, and the backstory that I almost gave up on it 3 times is, I don't know, I just find it really special that it really came together as one of my favourite pieces. How do you develop your painting style? Look, this has always sort of been what I default to, guys. This is where I want to be, this is how I like to paint. If you look back at my old artwork, back when I was in art school, or even in high school or primary school, you could see little whispers that the style was trying to come out, that it was there under the surface. And if you had a really keen eye, you might have spotted that that's where the kid wanted to go. But honestly, it was only once I started painting for me and enjoying the actual process that I went full noise on my own style. Everyone's got their own unique style, and once you start loving what you do and how you do it, that's when you really unlock it and start heading in that direction in your own little way. The Lulu pants. Lululemon. I don't think we've got Lululemon in New Zealand. If we did have Lululemon, that's where I'd be buying my partner clothes. Absolutely. I like Lululemon. In New Zealand, we've got Barkers. That's the main thing I'm wearing most of the time. You're good with the undertones when you paint these. Yeah, there's a scene in a movie, and I always, if someone can tell me what the movie is, please do. But there's a scene in the movie where a lady's looking out the window, and she's dating or sleeping with a professional artist. It's ancient times, and the artist comes up behind her, and she asks him how he can paint. And he says, look at the sky. He says, what do you see? And she says, I see the sky. And he says, look at the sky. Do you see the reds, the oranges and the yellows? And it's just a blue sky. And she says, she looks at it for a long time and she says, I can't. And he says, then you'll never be able to paint. It's brutal. He's not a very nice guy, I don't think. And then I only remember this one scene. And then she keeps looking. And it's just, wait, hold on. I see it. And yeah, I think she goes on her own painting journey. I can't quite remember, but basically he was taught, yeah. If anyone remembers a scene of looking out a window and the artist behind a female who's looking at the sky and trying to see additional colours in the sky, that's a pretty special scene, because that encapsulates to some degree what we're doing here a little bit, which I like. Yeah. I'm gonna grab a little bit down here. These aren't the exact colours, guys, but it's okay. This little corner down here is the Wild West right now. We've got no control down here. This is, who's that guy? Theoden in Lord of the Rings. Who's seen Lord of the Rings? Hopefully all of you. This is where Theoden would be saying to me, you have no power here. I haven't touched this corner. It's painted, but it's not painted. This corner needs love, and we're still in our lighter colours, so we haven't actually, this is dark. This is a brooding dark area. This is the light fun smash through the middle. And if we're lucky, there'll be a third. I'd like to see those lines hit the 2/3 marks and create a little bit of harmony and balance with the rule of thirds. Do I surf one more time? That is an excellent question. Look, I've been surfing twice. My partner got me a wetsuit for Christmas. I know, it's a really nice wetsuit. I'm super spoiled. She got me this wetsuit and she's keen for me to start surfing with her. I'm all about that. And what's good is if the weather's too intense or whatever, I can just paint with you guys down on the beach. And if it's a pretty chill day, I'm going for a surf. I like the way it makes your back feel though, because I've got a long torso, and so laying on a surfboard and paddling, although I get tired super fast, it actually feels really nice for my back. So, surf therapy, guys. Don't know if it's a thing. It should be a thing. Lol, I love it, yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I tried to buy a big wetsuit as well, guys. I don't get claustrophobic, but I wanted like a big wetsuit so I could move more. And the guy in the surf shop, he was a friend of Shelby's, is like, you're not walking out of here with that wetsuit. I'm going to give you the smaller one. And I'm like, yeah. I whinged a little bit, but are you going to use it? Steve, I've got your message there. Thank you very much. Now, Steve, for everyone who's watching, Steve is one of the 3 commissions we've got lined up for February, so this month right now, and he may be part of one of 4 if there's a portrait which may come in and join in. So anyway, Steve is getting a picture of himself on a wave. Can't wait. We're doing water at the moment, which is fun, Steve. This is a lake, this isn't the sea. So we're capturing the energy of a lake at the moment, more chill, a bit more greens in there and things. What's going to be fun with Steve's painting is we're capturing a wave. And the wave is the sea, it's got energy and it's got so much more movement than the lake's got. And so with the wave, we're going to be actually putting under lots of, not on top, but subtly underneath the blues, there are going to be these fiery undertones to really capture that movement and power of this wave coming up. So we'll have some fun with that. Now Steve, yes, I've been thinking about the size, and it's good that you're here. Rather than me sending you off an email, have a think on this size, if you're listening. Sorry for my hair, guys. If you're listening in, the size I'm thinking is 30 inches by 40 inches canvas. So 30 inches by 40 inches, this one here is 40 by 60. No, hold on, let me look, 40, perfect. So imagine exactly, this is perfect, Steve. That little bit of hair doesn't want to stay, does it? Imagine exactly half of this. Cut a line through this, and that's 30 by 40 inches. I think, almost bang on. And that's what I'm thinking for your painting, Steve. And part of the reason why I like 30 by 40 inches rather than a square, because you mentioned a square. I love the square idea, but I'm worried with the square when you're in the center, the waves will swirl around you and make more of a whirlpool vortex. I want that little bit extra of the portrait, because what that'll allow us to do is capture more of the wave pulling in, and as it's crashing over top here. Now the pulling into the wave will mean the strokes are bigger, coming up into the wave, and so when they come up to where you're actually on the wave, that's where it's rippling the most, it has the most intensity, and the brush strokes will get smaller, more condensed. And so you'll get this movement up close, big, it's coming into the wave, coming up around, and then obviously the turbulent top of it actually curving over and splashing. So it's going to be really fun, guys. I'm really excited for this piece, but yeah. So Steve, I'll get back to you with that and we'll go from there. I'm excited. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. But I've been putting thought into the square versus the taller one. That's where I was sitting with it at the moment. I heard something about Filipino painting. No. Look, in art school and in high school, if you've done art and things, I love that, Steve. I love that. Let me get back to you via email. I've got a few sitting there. I churned through as many as I could this morning, and I tried to upload some YouTube videos as well. But again, this New Zealand Wi-Fi, guys, I'm a struggler. I'm #1 battler when it comes to Wi-Fi. Yeah, so we'll get there though, we'll get there. Yeah, but if you're waiting on an email, guys, we're in the tail end of our inbox, so I'll be on to you tonight, definitely, which I find really exciting. And if you've got a message on Instagram, you may be waiting, but I will get back to you. If you are just on TikTok, links in the bio, and wherever you want to connect, you can go for gold. Did you like that, Victoria? I changed it. Victoria's like, yeah, you changed it, but not by much. My nosy self has to know because it definitely explains the influx. I'm confused. Influx. But I'll tell you what, guys, if you're new here, then let me just give a big old shout out to Victoria, Cheryl, Larissa, T. These people are our moderators. They hang out here and they actually create an amazing environment so we can just enjoy painting. I can just enjoy painting. Honestly, I consider myself incredibly lucky to have such amazing people around, and I Ocean, I recognise that name. Ocean, I saw your message on Instagram. I clicked into it. Now I've seen it, and I promise I'm going to reply. It was the most wholesome message. Thank you so much. I'm definitely getting back to you. But I feel awful when I leave people on scene. The problem was, I send voice notes most of the time, and so I was going to send you a voice note, but I was in a place where I shouldn't take a voice note, and so I was like, I'll hold fire. We'll leave Ocean on scene. And there was one other person there too, JD, who sent me a message, and I wanted to send back a voice note, but I could not. So that's where we're at. Hey Cameron Kelly, welcome. All right, and we're gonna go around the sides. With this one here, we are gonna go around the sides, guys. The reasons we're gonna go around the side is because this one's not gonna be framed. This is not a commission, guys. This is not a commission. This is not one of my own paintings I'm gonna keep. This is gonna go on the wall of a surf shop if it's good enough, and if they want it to. They get the final say. But this painting here is for a surf shop. Once it's completed, it's going to go on the wall of their surf shop. I mean, where else would it go? And hopefully it will stay there for a long time. If it does sell, the profit's going to go completely towards a local charity, specifically probably surf lifesaving. Yeah, so that's what this artwork is. That's the context behind this. We've snuck it in here at the moment because we're currently waiting for a few canvases to be finished, which I just sent out the email for. If you're listening in and you're one of the February commissions, my canvas guy, he's not a canvas guy, he's a professional, he will have them finished by tomorrow night. So I've got 2 fresh canvases coming in. So tomorrow night's set, we're starting 2, 1, maybe 3 of our February paintings, which I'm pretty excited for. Great art, who wants to show everyone about? Oh, thanks, Justin. You're an absolute champion. If anyone doesn't recognise Justin, you'll be new here, but Justin's one of the OGs who's been here literally from the very start. I think Justin was here when I was had 1,500 followers on TikTok. And we were just hanging out on the front lawn. I know the first one. Were you there for the first one, Justin? Who was here for the first live when we were literally down the beach and Shelby's in the background surfing? Is it? It sees a face in the painting. It's fun. It's fun. Thank you very much for the glasses, by the way. You're an absolute champion. All right. Now, when we add these strokes on here, guys, part of the fun of water, if you're painting water with a brush, don't try and control the brush into making the whole thing look like water. Let the brush be a brush. Let it be fluid, let it move, let it just have these gestural strokes. Then after a bunch of those, the water will come together. I don't know, I've been to so many. That's fair enough, Justin. In the early days and the sound wasn't working and Justin would send me messages. I say in the early days, I'm definitely gonna break the sound again, guys. This is just a reality. It's gonna happen again. Let's leave it here. Ooh, that's not the right color, but that's okay. I'm gonna reach up now, guys. I'm gonna do some of this top area, add some of this blue in here. It's currently a, what would you call that? Dark pastel blue, maybe? I don't know. But we're going to combine it with our cerulean cobalt blue combination. I'm making it sound really fancy. I'm putting blue in the sky, guys. Thank you very much, Cheryl. You're an absolute champion. Now, I'm going down to Tauranga on Friday. So we've got a fantastic birthday party happening in Rotorua. I'm going to go to that. I'm going to pick up some of the artwork from the studio. I've got some photos to take to send off to a few people, blah, blah, blah. But I'm picking up Rossi, which is then going to T in Hamilton. So on Monday, if everything goes as planned, Rossi will be in Hamilton. And I'm really excited. It's been a long time coming, and I'm looking forward to T having a painting in her own space. So, yeah, exciting is right. But it's going to be a pity, T, because having Rossi in the studio has been phenomenal. Like I say, it's been everyone's favourite picture. So I'm interested to see what the new favourite's going to be. But T, right now, it's all everyone wants to talk about. I bet they're going to be like, hey, I like your current work in here, but where's that dog one that was here before? Where's it gone? I'm going to be like, it's in Hamilton. Here, you can message T. She might send you a picture of it. There we go. Cool. I've spliced that blue with a little bit of green. We're not going to be shy with the green in the sky either, guys. I don't just want a blue sky. I want to splice a bit of green in there. I want that harmony through the picture. I need to have the greens in the sky. I need to have greens in the lake. And the greens in the person. Everywhere. I need greens everywhere. It's varying ratios, but I need greens everywhere. Here we go. Oh, guys. Enjoy my hair while it lasts. It's literally falling out into my paint tray. I reckon we've got, yeah. One of these days I'll be streaming, I'll just shave it all off. But today's not that day, but it's falling out fast, guys. You know when you wake up in the morning, there's hair all over the pillow? The scar. The scar. So we'll see where that takes me. Here we go. Greens, mixed in with a bit of blues. There's a lot of this, guys. We're going to realise most of it, but not all of it. And the reason why we're not going to do all of it is there are some fun colours we've already got in there hiding underneath. We don't want to lose those. If you missed it earlier, all the paint currently is spliced. It's spliced with gloss gel. What does gloss gel do? It's going to make sure the paint keeps that wet look even after it's dried. And it also makes it run nicer. So that's what gloss gel's doing here. Because since we're quite gestural, quite fast, adding on paint in quite a wild, raw, primal fashion, it is nice to actually have the paint run immediately, get good area coverage, all those things. No, Sip does not have Twitter. Remember when Twitter came out though? Way back. I think I was in high school when Twitter first showed up. Here we go. Beautiful. I'm assuming they are... well, you know what? Maybe we could get a Twitter, and every day I can just jump on it and post like a wholesome, inspirational quote about art. Grab Van Gogh and Picasso's words and throw them up for you guys. PG. PG means parental guidance. So think of most Disney movies you've ever seen. Most of those are PG. Because you can grab it off the shelf and then your kids can watch it and there's going to be nothing too bad in it. It might be a New Zealand rating system. Who knows? What layer am I on? This is layer 2. So we're going to do 3 layers, but if I yarn too much, like I'm currently doing, it's likely we might end up pushing 4 or 5. But we'll see where we end up.
Oh, hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello, you? Oh, yeah.
Here we go. Green into the face. Lots of green in the face. One of the things we can do is avoid colours like green or blue or purple inside the face.
Thank you.
Don't avoid those colours. If you add too much, the character's going to look sickly. But if you add none at all, it's going to look surreal or not quite correct. Be ready for that. How the hair will turn out for this piece. Yeah. It's wet and matted. There's a lot of colour in it. So we're going to have some fun with it, I think.
Ace's colour, yeah. I think
all over the show.
Aces.
Aces, yeah.
Here we go.
Is it against Aces?
A little more green saturation. Spice it with a little more gloss gel. Pump it through here. Here we go. This is the popping colour we're after.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Pop, just like that.
Spiritual electricity. Wow, it's really fascinating.
There we go. More green, more green, more green. Perfect.
It's nice and cool here.
It's so nice.
We're not going to shy off the green here, guys. The lakes are going to go nuts with green.
It is loud though. It is loud.
There we go.
Yeah, but it's alright. I just put my phones on.
There we go.
Those flowers, I've never met you before, sorry.
Oh,
Spitting there. We're going to have some more green through here. Let's keep going. Here we go. A lot of green up around this horse.
Yeah. I've sort of been transitioning from flowers back to.
Landscape and stuff, eh?
Yeah.
And
There we go. And a little bit more through here.
Oh, your mum is like me. You have to change it.
Again, guys, lots of green through here. It's a lake, but we're not going to focus on blues. We're going to add all the colours. Luke, thank you very much. You're an absolute champion. Appreciate you knowing.
Oh, thank you.
More green.
I love your work.
We can never add enough green to this work. I think someone was saying that their favourite colour in here today was green, but I missed it.
Yeah.
Here we go. Beautiful. And a bit more over here. I think our landscape right now is a little bit high.
No, I'm
We're
usually
going to drop it down. Here we go. I kind of like it high too, guys, because what it does,
Did you get that at the Hard to Find?
Yeah.
Did you?
it
Yeah.
does is it accentuates more of the horse, and we want more of the horse. The horse is good. Of course, thanks for... T's getting some love for Rossi. That's good. You deserve it, T. It's a phenomenal picture. You really nailed it with the camera work.
But it does
Here we go.
work.
This is some hills in the background, guys. We're going to add the green on to really make them pop.
Do you do that, Mark?
We're going to add a little bit through here.
You might have to tell me she changed her life, she said.
There we go.
Yeah. It,
And what else do we have there?
creative.
A lot in here.
And it's basically.
Where else can we add it? Just in here. More green in here, guys.
Stream of consciousness.
I just like there's a lot going on. Cheers,
Before
Pete.
you have time to.
Yeah. So it's a collection of people who are here. So there's lots of little slots, and especially during the day, there's a lot more people in it. It's a lot more of a dynamic environment. This is what I talk about when I talk about peers and helping you push your artwork along. More than tutors, more than anything, peers will have a really dynamic effect on your art and help you develop what you're doing. Not just the paint. Sorry, Pink. I'm just off on my own rant. But that applies for anything you do, guys, not just art, but anything you do. When we talk about background in this picture, because this isn't a typical portrait, this is more of a genre piece, I think you'd call it. But it's a GoPro selfie. The actual character in it, this little horse and the character here, it's probably only about 20% max of the work itself. 80% of it's going to be background. So that's where our intention needs to go. It's where our intention and attention, both the things, needs to go to help flesh this painting out. If we ignore the background, what's going to happen is we'll get a nice looking character, but the background will add nothing to it to bring your eyes back to the character and create that context. So I try and make a rule for myself. I put as much attention into the background as I do the character. I really want to fix this face up, but I can't do it straight away. I've got to do it all evenly and slowly bring the picture out. That's what we're doing here. Background noisy. What's the name there? That's a hippie symbol. I'm sorry, hippie. I hope you're looking after yourself. We're going to add a little bit more onto this boot here. There we go. Beautiful. Got a bit more through here.
Yeah, McDonald's, behind McDonald's.
It's so weird. We walk like 2 minutes away from it.
Really?
Yeah, like this
And
is
then
on
a
my
little bit through
house,
here.
and we had
Perfect. We're going to keep splicing that
and so literally my menu site is like
green,
5 minutes away
mixing into the
from
purple now.
Yeah.
And we've got
I mean, you're right.
a brighter violet. There we go.
Because you know,
I missed that.
really
Oh my god, it's one
I see what the plan is now. I get it now. Okay. I saw the 5-second thing pop up and the 5-minute thing pop up. It's cool. There's a system taking place. I'm a big fan. Throw some of this purple through the hair too, guys. Purple. There we go. Now, with hair, you can also fall into the habit or the trap of applying hair as a line and going, right, well, it's hair, I know the flow of it, I'm going to paint hair. With hair, there's more dynamic shapes and colour in there. Add the shapes in, sometimes perpendicular to the direction of the hair. If light's capturing it in a line, paint the line perpendicular to the hair.
I met the musicians more than people.
Now, let's add this in
Oh, I'm
here.
glad you're enjoying the space. Yeah.
And then a little bit through the sky here. Perfect. And a little bit more up here. Fantastic. Larissa, you're on the way. All right, Larissa. It's been a pleasure having you here again. Not sure if I'll be back to help before the light is over. That's all good, Larissa. Drive home safe. Do your thing. Pleasure having you for the period we had you for. Let me just check here too, guys. 4:20. We're good on time. We're good on time. 4:20. Two. We can do 2 more hours. 2 more hours max. If I get a text, it might shake things up. Here we go. A little bit of paint through here. A little bit of paint through here. There we go.
I got cheap ones from the warehouse.
We're now on with the purples, spliced with a little bit of white. What that's going to do, beautiful. It's going to complement the greens, not conventionally. Yellow is the complementary colour of purple, but there we go. But there's a bit more gloss gel.
Oh, you're talking about those? Oh, yeah.
It's going to add more of that murky tone to the actual picture, and that's what we're after.
I thought you were talking about the actual shoes.
There we go. This is going to replace a lot of the greys in the picture too, guys. Purples are fun. Just add these in here. There we go. And a little bit more up here. Not all these lines are going to go perpendicular. Sorry, not all these lines are going to show the ripples of the water. If you look down here, these ones are actually splashing up. You'll notice the direction of these lines is more up like this, because it's where the wakeboard's cutting through. Whereas up here, this is more ripples, so it's going to be flatter and more horizontal with its lines. That's where we're at. Yes, a long time ago. Long time ago. Here we go. Have a look-see here. Perfect. And then sticking over here, just around the tip of that wakeboard. Keep adding some purples in here, see where it takes us. There's actually a few little light points down the bottom here. We're going to drop out of the white completely, splice purple with blue. And we're going to go into this no man land that I've been avoiding so aggressively. But now I'm here. There you go. Beautiful.
To be honest with you, even though it was like
And a little
five
bit
was
more
tricky,
from
it was
here.
Yeah, fair enough.
something really fun actually.
Here we go. There's a lot of detail in here. Really quite rough to start with, guys. Like I say, this is a no man's land. Here we go.
Yeah, you've got like a tuk-tuk road going down the street.
A little bit more.
And you're going to have a white band out here.
Perfect. That'll tone back as the layers go on. There's a little bit down here to capture too. Bear with me. Down here. Perfect. Now we're talking. Get more of that blue coming in properly with it. Now we're talking. It's a little bit darker than this, but at least these fun colours. These fun, bright tones will be hiding under those more murky tones. Here we go. Beautiful. Coming up here a little bit. Capture a few more just through here. Here we go. Beautiful. And a little bit of purple on the board here actually, guys. There we go. More of that. There we go. Coming on down here. Fantastic. Now we're talking. JEC. Oh. JEC. I love you to bits. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you don't know if there's a little bit.
Yeah, so it was good. The sun was good. I felt hot looking at the builders.
You are.
They're just hammering at
JC, you are absolutely warming my heart. I really appreciate it. You're an absolute champion. I love you to bits. And to everyone else here, thank you so much for joining as well. Yeah, thanks Nurse DJ. There is no Twitter account. Links are in the bio if you want any of your links. But yeah, thank you very much, JC. One day. Who knows what the future will hold. I think the next thing, we've got pretty much everything we need right now, but the next thing will be an extension cord on the mic. So one thing we got early in the piece was a little mic, but the cord was too short to reach the iPad. So I need to go back to the store and get a little extension cord so it can go into the iPad and then have a little thing here. And it'll create more clarity in the sound, which I reckon will be super cool. Just chuck some in here. There we go. Beautiful. Splicing in more of the white. Purples with greens now. So we're just going for a mucky colour. Thought he was going to create one. Nehu. You've just got the Instagram there, guys. The Instagram is basically just like the TikTok here. Just the same stuff, posted twice. I'll get more original in the future, I swear. The water looks really cool, like the sun is hitting it. That's fantastic. If you've seen that already, we are heading in 100% the right direction. That's exactly what we want to be doing here. This picture has a lot of action in it, but most importantly, we want to capture a lot of life. So, a lot of energy, a lot of life. The brush strokes have got so much space to spread out, to slash, to move around. The picture itself, it's got all the colours in there. Possibly, we could spot some more yellow, but I'm really enjoying letting the yellows just only come out in the greens right now. And yeah, we just want to take this piece of artwork to the most wild, primal place we can take it, let the brush. We've used this size pretty much the whole way through it. We opened up with a bigger one to start with, but we're going to start and finish now with this one on the last few layers. We won't go smaller than this. Famous last words, maybe on the face. Maybe I won't be able to help myself, but chances are this will be the smallest brush that we go to. You might be here in a couple of days and you'll be like, but I thought Seb said, and I'll be there with a small brush doing like articulate little bits of detail. But look, right now I doubt it. Let's have a look-see here. Beautiful. Here we go. the appropriate place for this colour. But you know what? It's going to be fun. So I'm going to add it in there anyway. One thing, how much longer have I got? A bit longer, guys. You got me for a bit longer. Let's chuck this in here. That bra strap's not quite in the right place, so we're not too worried about eradicating it. Here we go. Cracking him back into our turquoise. Swapping around colours here like a madman. Roman, you're an absolute champion. Thank you very much. JEC, you made my day. You're an absolute hero. As the person who came in and delivered the astronaut, you're also an absolute champion. Now, I'm going to stab in the eyes by my hair again. So, a couple more strokes. I'm going to deal with that. 1 second. Here we go, just through here. Beautiful. A little bit sneaking in here. And just through here. Cool. Here we go. Digging on the pinks. Yeah, pinks are cool. We're going to come back with some hot pinks and salmons. Hold on. That'll buy me another 10 minutes. We're going to come back with some more hot pinks and salmons. Oh, fantastic. Guys, I've got some great news. I just sent a painting down to Christchurch, going to a lady. It was a really special painting. It was one of those paintings that it's a privilege to be asked to paint it, and a privilege to paint it. If anyone here has been how long does it take to get delivery after you've completed a painting? Bernie, about a week and a half worldwide. America's actually really efficient to ship to. I'm usually very surprised at how fast they get there. Sometimes under a week, which is wild. And I'm like, hey, chill out, take your time. But yeah, real fast. But I say about a week. Week's good. So anyway, as I was looking at the screen, an email came up. I just read the first line of text. So we painted a wedding portrait, and if you remember here, if you've been on the stream before, as a couple, there was a man in a suit. We added a lot of blue colours down his arm here and had some real fun with that. And then we had a female here in a beautiful wedding dress, and she's like, they're touching noses, looking at each other. And then around them, the photographers absolutely nailed it, because around them, the rocks cascade away from them, so we can make the colours explode. So she wanted to focus more on the blues, pinks and purples, so we did that. And the overall picture had this really great energy of just love and vibrancy. So really positive piece. Anyway, I sent it down to her. It arrived a week and a half ago. Alicia, it has been way too long. Welcome back to the stream. Absolute pleasure to have you here. I was wondering where you'd gone, actually. Good to have you back. So we sent it down to her. It's been a week and a half. I sent her a message and said, look, please tell me, do you love the painting? How are you feeling about it? She'd watched it on the stream a little bit and seen some of the reels, but I wanted to see how she felt with it in person. Anyway, long-winded yarn, so sorry. She just sent me an email saying that she loves it. She's blown away by it, so fantastic. I've been hanging out for that, guys. That when I was laying in bed for the last 7 days, that's what I was thinking about. I'm like, I hope Holly loves that painting as much as I do. And she does. So this is good. This is good. I'm looking forward to replying to the email, guys. It's going to be a good one. I live an hour from Hershey, Pennsylvania. That's why I asked. Nurse DJ, I missed the question, but you're actually in Pennsylvania. I think I told you yesterday. You are in the town of one of my portraits. There's a guy there named Ricky, and he's got his portrait on the wall. And we did it last month. It was a really fun portrait. It was the one with the reddish, yellowish tones in it that he's sort of doing a little bit of a pout in. We put a metal frame on it, we boxed it, and we sent it about 3 weeks ago. Anyway, he emailed me back. He said he loves it, which is again fantastic. And the other thing about it is I'm hanging out pictures of it. because I want to show you guys how he's presented it. So that'll come up, we'll see. Cobb, fantastic having you here. You're the best, Cobb. Tied best with the fantastic people here. But get some sleep, and Cobb, I'll be on tomorrow evening. So there won't be a late night session tonight, guys. None. Because we're heading out to a restaurant, flat, there's some friends over. I'm probably going to get too excited. I'm not sure whether it's a pina colada night. I don't know whether it's a mojito night, but you know what? I'm super excited to find out. Basically, Shelby's going to call the shots. Whatever she says, that's what we're doing. I love that. I'm going to be a little sheep. Just follow instructions. Thanks, guys. Xavier, cool name. Sleep in here. Now this actually cuts down lower than I've done. I've pulled the bra up this way too much. It's a classic thing that happens when you're painting what you think you see and not what's actually in the picture. We need to get back to just seeing tones and shapes. And this bra actually, if I'm being completely honest with myself, cuts down here like that. There we go. That's that line we've been hanging out for. Just going to reinforce that line because that's an important one. She's got a cool bra on too, guys. It's like a Billabong style one. Crimson, really pops against everything else in the picture. That's fun. I think she's in tights, which I also love because it adds the sort of spontaneity of the whole event that's occurring here. So this gesturing I'm doing, the picture's just here in front of me. So yeah. Yeah. Guys, if I'm so sorry, Victoria. Apologies. But if you want to connect more, all the links are in the bio. There's one link there. It's a fancy little link, and it'll take you everywhere you want to go. Let's have a look-see here. Now, this board actually has the only cerulean blues, or pure cerulean blues, in the whole picture. I couldn't help myself. I added in some touches around here, but as we add in more coats, they'll fade back. But this board has this particular spike in its color that doesn't exist anywhere else. It's going to be fun. So 2 of the biggest touch points in this, probably towards the finish, 3 of the biggest touch points. First off, the green in the horizon line, that sticks out significantly. There's a saturation in that. Crimson in the bra, that's going to stand out a lot, along with the handle that she's holding. And then the cerulean blue in the board. Those 3 areas will pop the most. Everything else is going to be this blurry amalgamation of all the colours. So that's where that'll go. Now, we're still on our greens. Here we go. Let me just mix it up properly. You'll be excited. We're doing more on the hair. Here we go. I need a medium grey, but we're going to substitute in purple. Here we go. Now we're talking. Just through here, down through here. Now we're going to come over to the top of this, guys, with our blacks, with our blondie colours, with our dark. Most important is going to be probably a brown sienna. Which is like a warmish brown with like a burnt-ish tone, sort of, not really. And that's going to add most of the colour to the hair. But we're going to add that on as washes. So all our funky colours. Track hurdle, you're an absolute champion. Love the hat. All the funky colours, and then we're going to add in the transparent gels, and then add in the oxides and the siennas. And what that's going to do is change the overall hue of it in the direction of the colours we actually want. That's what's going to happen there. Now, I'm wondering... Yeah, we're going to get creative here, guys. We're going to run off with a bit of black. Now, in terms of blacks, I don't really get that fussy. Ivory, carbon, Mars. Honestly, if I was to pick a favourite and to use only one ever again, it'd be carbon. I always feel a little bit of regret every time I reach for the Mars black. It's not ever quite what I wanted. Is she on a wakeboard, surfboard, or kiteboard? She's on a wakeboard, so her feet are in bindings. Now, it's very hard to see at the moment, and part of the reason in that is that actually her legs and the detail of the bindings on the board are very, very dark, and so that's going to come out in tones as we keep going through it. Track hurdler? Is it track hurdler? Track hurdles. You're an absolute champion. Thank you very much. Now, mixing in the black, but we're not just going to go for it as just black. We're going to add more of our gloss gel, because we don't want the black to just dry and look tacky and matte-like. We want to keep that wetness to it. We want that saturation in there. There we go. Beautiful. Add this in here. Now we will splice this with a bit of blue as time goes on, but right now we're focused on just pure blacks. Let's have a look-see here. Just going to cut up in here. There we go. Is that in the right place? Pretty much. There we go. Even though this area is already black, we can reaffirm it with more black. What that's going to do is going to add texture to the canvas. More and more hide the underlying canvas texture and make sure it's paint on paint. That's all we want. Thanks, Cheryl. You're an absolute champion. Yeah, guys, remember, we're in a fun environment here. It's important to keep it PG though. Because you never know. We could have children here learning how to paint. Got to make an inclusive environment, right? Well, now I feel bad for being a mod. Hate upsetting y'all, but Victoria, we love having you here. You do everything and more. Let's leave in here. And we're in these bindings with just a couple of strong black strokes. There we go. And a little bit more in here. There we go. Hey Christian, how you doing? And watching from the Philippines. That's a long way away. That's a long way away. Alright, so to make these bindings stand out in amongst this giant wild thing we're creating here, I'm going to apply big, fat, thick strokes to around the board here. And that's going to let you know that there's some sort of strong foundation there for some reason. It won't stand out too much on your end, but if you're up close to the canvas, you'll see there was something of importance there that we were focusing on. Yes, of course you can. That's a very good question, Mason. So this is our picture. If you haven't seen it before, now you've seen it. Maybe I should put it all the way to the side here so you can compare. Yeah, there we go. And I'll make it bigger. There we go. All right, so like I say, guys, the face isn't quite right, but we're not going to focus on the face too much. We need to make sure we focus all over the show in the painting, bring it all out in unison. The bra's looking more correct now. The legs need a bit of work, but they're in black, so we'll get onto those. The board itself has the right shape of flick, probably a bit big, but you know what? That's part of the fun. Humans make mistakes. Our perspective is slightly off. The GoPro sticks clear in both of them, if not more accentuated down here. Sky needs work, a lot more white through it, and the horizon line's in about the right spot. But really fun picture, a lot going on in it, and we're just going to try and imbue it with as much colour and wildness as we can. Belisha, it's been absolutely fantastic having you here, Belisha. Been a while since we've last seen you. Pleasure to have you back, and hopefully, I won't hold my breath, but hopefully see you next time. How do you manage to achieve water splashing like that? Okay, first thing you do, don't see water. As soon as you see water, you set yourself up for failure. Just like when we talk about doing eyes, noses, mouths, ears, all the rest of it. In terms of, oh, you're out of here. Victoria, it's always a pleasure to have you here. Catch you later, and I wish you all the best. Either tomorrow morning or tomorrow night. Most likely tomorrow night, Victoria. I'll see you then. Look after yourself. So with water especially, more than a face, noses, mouths and things, don't see the water, just see the shapes and the tones that make up the water. Spot those little triangles, those rectangles, those sways and crosses, and let that become what you want to do and see. There we go. There we go, that just comes in there like that. And then this comes around here like that. Now we're talking. A little bit of a shadow down here, guys. We're going to capture that. Perfectos. And a little bit in here. There we go. Keep on adding this in here. Perfect. So there's a shadow being cast from the character onto the board. Now we're only just seeing it now, which is shocking, but we're going to add in the blacks for it, just down here. Like I say though, not seeing shadow, not seeing waves, not seeing ripples, none of that stuff pink. All we're seeing is the shapes and the tones that make up what we're seeing. I never viewed it that way. Pretty much concentrate on how they form as splashes. You can do that and you can really curve into that. Probably the epitome of doing that would be that Chinese wave painting, where you've just controlled every last little bit of it to be exactly what you want to see. With this, we're doing far more freedom in terms of we're letting the paint land wherever it wants to. Love you, JDC. You're an absolute champion. You've just made my day today. You know how excited I'm going to be? I am. Everything. Mason, how much does it cost for everything that you use to paint? It depends. If you want to start off really cheap, one paintbrush and a bit of paint is fine. Paint on a board, you don't need a special canvas. Good quality paint's the most important thing to spend your money on when you start. If you start with a cheaper paint, what can happen is it's a little bit too thin and watery. Get the good paint, get the cheap brush, get the cheap surface, and you're good to go. I think, I've never purchased one before, but I think there's little starter kits on Amazon that'll give you everything you need. A couple of brushes and a bit of paint palette. I just use a plate, and you're good to go. Let's go in here. Perfect. And then a little bit around here. Now we're talking. Cutting down through here. Beautiful. More blacks. Up in the haircut here. Nice. Cheryl, it's like... I think I'm following the conversation, Pink. There we go. At the end of the day, guys, we're very, very lucky to have an environment like this and have such amazing people like Cheryl, Victoria, Larissa, T, Lucy, who's been vacant, but she's amazing too, here, and creating a space where we can all just have some fun. PG fun. PG fun. So, I can't follow every bit of the conversation, but please, 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 please make sure we're respecting Larissa and Cheryl and T and Victoria. Please, 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 please. Because what they're doing by being here for us is completely selfless. Thanks, T. Here we go. Let's just chuck this in here. A little bit of black on the border. Scoop in here a little bit, capture a bit down here too. There we go. And there's a wristband that comes around. Capture that, just like that. And then come on down here. I think there's more of a boot than we're actually capturing right now. That hand's a little bit smaller. There we go. A little bit dangling down here. And there's probably some more that I've left out here. And black down here in this corner. We're going to leave this corner wild and expressive, guys. It's going to have paint in it, but it's going to be loose, big, friendly brush strokes. Now, let me lead down to the bottom here. There we go. I'm going to do a little bit more black into this. Here we go. Just around like this. Capturing that tail. Capturing that horse head. Perfect. And then there's these legs coming down here. And then we go. There's a whole hand here, which we haven't fully captured yet, guys. There's so much going on in the painting that we may have missed those areas. Welcome to 30. Hey, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yeah, good to be 30. Been 30 for a month now.